Hi, welcome to another video. This is ArcoLinux B. It's deeping, and the video is made on deeping, but it's totally not related to it. So I tend to just boot up with an SSD of my choosing, of my liking, and this point in time somebody said in this on Discord, so please join us. You can talk to us, you can talk to other users on Discord. Says, okay, do you have problems with deeping? So the first thing I do is pop in an SSD with deeping, update everything, reboot, and work. Now, the best way to see everything is normal is just make a video on it. Now, I have been working already for an hour on it and everything looks good. The topic of this video is actually the work we've done in second half of July 2019, and that's work we've done on the scripts, the ArcoLinux B scripts. So it doesn't matter, you're looking at deeping, but it doesn't matter on which system you are. You should be on Arch Linux, ArcoLinux, or anything Arch based, and then it will just work. Well, not anything Arch based. It should have Arch ISO, because we are building an ISO on this video. We go to your home. ArcoLinux B is situated somewhere, it's online, and we have all these scripts to change things, but also to get them. So get all ArcoLinux B gits is actually a script that you can get, and it's all explained on a website. Let's kill all the other tabs, move it over here, and go to ArcoLinux, and then let's see if Google finds it. Arco get started, and he finds this one, which is like a video, I think. See web live. I'm not sure why that's coming up and why it's there, but Arco get started is not the proper link, I'm afraid. So go for ArcoLinux search. It's not yet what I wanted. And then you go to arcolinux.com, and we definitely need to go in here and use the find. Arco get started. Getting ArcoLinux up and running under 15 minutes with Arco get started 1. So that's that. We have a little link. You should bookmark it somewhere or write it down. It provides you with a folder. Well, I'm logged in, but you just can download it by clicking it. And what you get is a tar.gz. tar.gz was already there, so that's why it says number 1. And if you unpack it, you have everything you see. Get all ArcoLinux B gits. All right. So that's if you want to learn about all these desktops, which is now 13 or 14. So it's getting all this stuff, getting all these GitHubs in. If you just say, I just need one, I'm not concerned with all the rest, you go to, let's type it properly. Oh my God, GitHub ArcoLinux B. That should do it, right? ArcoLinux B GitHub. And then we have all the GitHubs you'd like to test out. We just type in the search here, or in this case, let's go for, well, deeping. Okay, deeping, Arco deeping. It doesn't matter which one you try, it's always the same procedure. Once you've seen one video, once you have done one ISO, it's gonna be the same again and again. So what you do is download zip. There's just one thing done, and that one thing is in your downloads, and it's in here. Arco deeping master, extract here, Arco deeping master. This is the installation script we need. This is the one we need for the normal Linux one, and this is the one for the Linux LTS kernel. So do look it up. It's the long term support. That's what it stands for. And this is a newer kernel, which should give more compatibility with the newer hardware, and this should be more with older and newer hardware. So it's a little bit different in perspective what they provide. So if you have downloaded this, this Arco deeping master, or you follow the other procedure, which is also a good way to go, like this one, and we go for open in terminal, and you just can say 1, get all ArcoLinux B GitHubs. So this script is just gonna download everything just in one simple swoop and going to get everything. So deeping will be in here as well, and it's the same files, the same ones from the net. So the video is about building it. Again, we're on deeping, doesn't matter if you're on deeping or XFCE or Plasma, so any ArcoLinux will work. And you open in terminal and you say to the system, let's move that around, you see 30 GitHubs were just downloaded. We have it. We can install these or build these 30 ISOs. So we have this one and we have this one. I tend to make it like so. So I know I'm building something, but I guess in XFCE we can do that. In XFCE we can have a quarter of a screen. Here in deeping it's just a half and that's it. Right, never mind. Every desktop has its peculiarities, is that the word? It's uniqueness. So 30, built ISO local version 3. That's what I'm talking about. We have been making scripts again because of the fact that we would like you to provide with a LTS version, so a long-term support kernel. So that's why we have these, well, revisited these building scripts and we've made them nicer. Because foremost, we'd like you to become more Linux experts. So that's why you have over 1,000 videos of knowledge and you can all watch them again and again. So it really sticks to you and you learn something. So this 30 version is going to be the simple Linux kernel, the way we've always built them. And this time it's going to be all, well, let's say more educational. Phase 1 in green, clean up and download the latest ArcoLinux ISO. Because people say, how is it possible to have 60 ISO? That's so strange for such a small team. Well, sure, but basically we have one ISO. We have the ArcoLinux ISO, and this gives us a complete car, let's say, with all ingredients and engines and look. But in the end, we set up a desktop with XFCE, so a desktop or Plasma or this or that. So it's minor parts of the ISO that's changed. We say no XFCE on it, no OpenBox, no i3. Let's put Qtile on it. So it's basically the ArcoLinux ISO, which is needed, but without different desktops and with new desktops like Xmonad and so on. So basically we get in some kind of template. Let's say it's a template of our ISO, or ArcoLinux ISO, OpenBox i3. And then we say to the system, do get these blocks and these blocks and these packages, not those and not those. Here we're going to get the latest bash RC, which is in Linux a very important file. Everything important is often related in here. So we have a lot of, well, let's say convenience aliases and sometimes rescue aliases and also functional things and so on. So do get a look at all these possible aliases. They're fun to work with. And then we say, okay, it's no longer ArcoLinux. It's ArcoLinux B. B stands for build your own ISO. So that's the power we give you. We will build less and less ArcoLinux B ISOs. It's up to you to build it just like I do now in this video. So we're going to rename it to deeping, to ALB deeping, because the ISO label needs to be small enough. That's why it's so small. And then checking if Arch ISO is installed. And here, of course, if you're not on ArcoLinux or Arch Linux, you may get stuck. So do install ArcoLinux and have fun with it, or Arch Linux. Then the password, he wants to do more than just that. He wants to install information. Here Arch ISO was not installed, you see. So it says, okay, Arch ISO not installed, let's install it. And then the ISO of the script is going to make some changes. The previous videos did not include all these colors. So it goes on. Phase 5, moving the files to the build folder. So they're moving to a particular place, and then we're going to clean the cache. Everything that's on your computer is going to be cleaned. The var cache pacman pkj is going to be, or G I suppose, is going to be cleaned out, just to be sure that there are no corrupt packages. That's the approach they recommend. And in phase 5 we start building the ISO, okay, which means that here at this point in time the build script starts. And what does that mean? In here is Arch ISO, right? And this is the file, the list of all the packages that we're going to need to have a deeping ISO, okay? But where we're going to work, Control H, where it's going to be built is going to be here, ArcoLinux B build. Here is everything that's needed to build an ISO. And inside here is the build sh. That's what we mean by this. Start of the building script, and that's red. So we've tried to we've tried to show you with all these colors which part of the system is actually running. So we have changed the name. It used to be called ArcoLinux. It's now ArcoLinux B deeping with all the scripts that we have. We've changed the name. The number version is here, different that maybe, but that's just coming from the ISO. And here it says 0, start of the build script. That's what we're looking at. Okay, the red thing. And then we're going to set up all these, all these steps are actually not coming from me. These steps are coming from the builder, the developer of the package Arch ISO. What we've done is make it a little bit nicer and giving it more visibility so that we know more or less in what phase we are, and maybe when you get stuck in what phase your error occurred or what is wrong with it. So here you see the complete list that's going on. He's going to install all these elements, and sometimes there may be some errors which are not important. If everything works fine, then they're just not necessary. So that this has been there for quite a while, but as long as it doesn't bother us, as long as the result is a wonderful ISO, it doesn't bother us at all. So here's some of the things you recognize: AMD U-code and Intel U-code. These things are known to us. And this is the additional packages, so this list of long packages that we are providing, which is actually here. So these are the Lego blocks, like I used to call them. So all these blocks are installed or not. So that's the power of ArcoLinux B. You can change it anytime. If you don't like Firefox to be installed, don't put it in there, and it's not going to be on the ISO. So that's the point. Now all these things is okay, just a warning. It was already there, it's reinstalling. It just takes up a little bit more time and space, but well, not space, but time anyway. But it doesn't matter. Then here the ArcoLinux stuff is coming. You see Arco, until here everything is Arco, and all the rest is Arch Linux. And some of it is AWAR. I see here Sapphire icon thing. Definitely AWAR, Arch User Repository. And then you wait, it's still building, I see here. So we are scrolling to the end. The easiest way is pressing the spacebar, and you are at the end of the list. See? We'll have to wait for it to do its thing. It all depends on the speed, which is not ArcoLinux server. These are all Arch Linux servers. Now, talking about speed, I do believe it's a little bit slow. It's all in a particular place, which is, well, not important. Control T. What you should know is an alias called mirror, and all its aliases, it's its brothers and sisters. You have mirror, mirror A, mirror D, mirror S. One of these four guys will probably improve your time, because mirror is going to ask again of all these servers from ArcoLinux. You see Arch everywhere. It's not Arco at all. Is going to ask who's the fastest, and that's the one that's going to be on the first line. Is going to be the first to be asking, give me the downloads. All right, so that's a way to do it. There is mirror S, which doesn't show anything, but it is changed. Mirror A and mirror D. So all of these aliases work with the system. It's going to go to the computer, is going to the system disk, is going to etc, and we have something called Pacman. And Pacman is our package manager, which you should read upon in the wiki of ArcoLinux. What Pacman is, it's that important. And we have an ArcoLinux mirror list. We can have a look at that. So 2 lines. First seed host, if that's down, is going to go to GitHub. So we have a backup available. And we did not need it last month, so that's good. So here you see the result. When you type in mirror or mirrors S or mirror D, it's in application, a reflector, an application that's going to list all the ArcoLinux servers in a certain way, and the fastest will be at the top. Simple as that. So that's the idea of this alias. Well, it's still downloading, and I can go over this maybe for the moment. So you see here all these elements, some text that I've added. So you see some information, but it's not shown in the script. So these things are personal develop text things which we don't show the users, and echo is something we show the users. Okay, so you can read more in a script than in the result of the terminal, in the terminal, right? So all these lines are here for you to study. And the end result will be, well, running all these elements, which run once and go up there, and then the base file system, etc., etc. And everything will be created, and the last thing is make me an ISO. Let's put the video here on pause a little bit and see the result. Why is this video created? Because of the fact that once we've released mid-July, we've released the version of 1907, we've been building behind the screens, and it is written in here. And where can you find this information? ArcoLinux beta testing, in each of these is pointing to the ArcoLinux ISO or the ArcoLinux D ISO, all the ArcoLinux B ISOs. So in this link here, it says that we have been developing, of course, after the July ISO release. And one of the things we've done, and that's why we do this video, we've improved the build script. So that's what we're doing now. We're building an ISO. It's for the website arcolinuxb.com. All right. This is where you say, I take the power in my own hands. I'll put on the ISO what I want and not what the developer wants. Okay, so that's the goal of ArcoLinux, give you the full control of the ISO. Improved build script. So goal is a better maintenance, so that I can copy paste between all the ArcoLinux versions. There are 14 desktops, but there is more than 14. There is also the ArcoLinux minimals. Here they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I was right. 14 of those, but there are also 14 of the minimal. And since we've developed ISOs for the long-term support kernel, it's ×2. And that's why we come at a large amount, and there are also a few of them that are bare, and so on. So it adds up, as simple as that. But the point is, again, we should not be building ISOs. You should be building ISOs That's what this website is all about. You take control. Here's the start here, the vision, choose your project, build it. It's so super easy, and we're doing it now again in this video. So there was another thing I wanted to show. So improvement on Arch ISO, the build process, building scripts look awesome with some coloring. You know what stage you are. Live user has no password anymore. That's an important thing. There was some feedback of users and I wanted to try out stuff. Things weren't working, hardware problems, it's always the same. Hybrid PCs, NVIDIA, etc. All this, you know the scenario, you've seen the post probably on the forum. So some of us have hardware that's a little bit difficult. So at this point in time, in the next release, so September, the live user will not have any password, which means that you can actually do Ctrl Alt F2, F3, F4, you know the drill, to go to TTY on the live DVD, install stuff you need, try out other drivers and so on, so that it's working on your systems. You have more freedom, flexibility to try out things. What you also increased, if you want to try out stuff on your live DVD, you need more space. So we've included also on the DVD the possibility to install really big applications, long or large drivers, etc., etc. So all the packages you want to experiment with should be able, you should be able to install it on the live DVD already. Okay. So some things really have changed, which I hope will help the few people that have these hardware issues. It's too bad that this exists, but the only thing we can try is give you more power or more flexibility, more possibility to try out stuff, to find out if you can get it installed. Let's have a look. All right, so a lot of red things. Let's scroll a little bit up. Yeah, okay, fine. So some of these things are really unimportant. Would be nice if the developer could tell me why it's happening, but it's unimportant. It's not. It's a nuisance, but it's not bothering us. At some point, we have all these elements that are going to be set. These elements are actually coming from. Let's get a little bit technical. So maybe people who want to have some more information about the technicality behind it. It's in here, in there. This file is now running and is called Customize Installation Arch ISO root file system. Okay, AI root FS. So this thing is this thing. Anything that's in here is going to show us now lines. So also this guy has been changed, has been given some coloring, so that we know, okay, now we're in that file. Now these things are running, or these things are installing. So we know where to look at. Again, if you are experimenting and learning about ArcoLinux and ArcoLinux, that you know, okay, probably mess the code up there, and you can check it out. So this little layout here, the coloring, set F1 here, is the red thing. Okay, so all these things are done, and some elements here, everything looks good here, and all the keys so that we can download stuff, signed and all. And at this point in time, your machine is going to work pretty hard. As you see, all cores are used. I have 8 of them. And so it's going to say using 8 processors, which is actually 8 cores. I would like to have 8 processors, but 8 cores, and it takes the time it takes. It's going to heat up a little bit as well. Don't see here on this conky, but never mind. We know Ctrl-T. We know the application sensors. There you go. That's the heat of my system. So it's around 70 when it's working full time. So So that's okay, as long as the ventilator is kicking on. That's okay. The vent. All right, let's pause a little bit here. All right, the script is finished. So you see these lines, build ISO, and then you just wait. And at some point in time, he says, I have created my ISO, and you see him writing the ISO until it's done. And then we have a 2.4 gigabyte ISO of ArcoLinux B deeping. So a full, not a minimal. There's also a minimal one if you want that. And it's written away to a particular place, which is called ArcoLinux B out, or ArcoLinux out, or ArcoLinux D out. So it's always the same thing. It's a folder, and at some point in time, it's going to be cleaned up as well. So phase 9, it says clean everything up so that we don't have this ArcoLinux B building folder, which takes some time. So just put it in there, take some time, so wait for it. And then we have this result. We have our proper personal ArcoLinux B deeping, personal if you deleted some packages or added some packages. And then you can install it first, of course, inside a virtual machine, maybe see if you like it or not and try it out, or put it on a real hard disk or SSD and see if that's what you want to install. So that's how it all works. It all fits great, as long as you know that you have it. You have this power. You can actually build the ArcoLinux ISO that we're going to release in a week's time. You can build it. It's in here. No changes to the ISO. That's what we do. No changes. But if you say, well, I would like to have the ArcoLinux ISO, but I'm gonna change some stuff, then we've explained that as well in all these videos. They will always be accurate. I mean, it's still the same script that's running. There's a little difference in the sense that we have this LTS Linux kernel choice that we did not have when we made the videos, but it's still the same thing. It's number 30, run it, and that's it. Stuff you can add, stuff you can delete, it's all up to you. Make it your own ISO, and that's the point, of course, of the video. And in the meantime, I've tested out deeping. Deeping is working just fine. No problems here. And so that's a good, well, that's good. And I'll say that on Discord that for me, deeping is functioning just fine now. All right, enjoy ArcoLinux B, enjoy ArcoLinux in general. Do join us on the forum. Technical stuff goes in there. Discord is just chatting around or giving ideas or suggestions or just to chat with us. And there's Facebook and other social media. See you there.